The best way to get rid of a bad smell in the house is just make something nice. When you go, for example, house hunting or wherever, some of realtors get that idea, so they have freshly baked cookies. And it's like, of course, because you want the house to feel cozy. So I guess baking brings that to, like, those smells makes you feel happy, like, oh, feels like home, right? I'm Claudia. I was born in Chile, in South America, half Italian, half German. I've been living in Latin America in different cities, Buenos Aires, Sao Paulo, and then I moved to Asia. I stayed in Sydney for a little while, then Singapore 3 years. I was every other week in Tokyo, so I know that city very well. And 4 months ago, I moved to San Francisco because of work. I was born in a small beach resort on the South Pacific. It's called Viña del Mar, which means vineyard by the sea. It's like a beach resort, and of course, like not so many Jews. So there was this family, she was a widower, and she started to bake in Challah, and then she decided to sell it to the community. So we didn't have to have the need to really bake. But then I started to live abroad, and of course I didn't have that. And instead of going to the supermarket and grab a challah, which is so easy, $3 in Trader Joe's, right? It's like, it doesn't feel right to do that, right? So I have to start baking it on my thing. And also because when you're an expat, you have to find your support system. My baking clubs or my cooking groups everywhere where I lived have been also my extended family. So that I put together my two things, like baking challah and also showing my roots and showing my culture through cooking with my friends. I always carry around little things that, are like my mementos and something. This is part of my family that was brought, I don't know where from, and it's very old with precious stones and everything. This always comes in my carry-on wherever I go. So many thousands of miles these have traveled. So this is my things that I carry around. Well, I always adjusted my flight, so I flew back right on time for Shabbat, or I spent Shabbat in the city that I was working that week. But here is the first time I commute that much and that regularly. So I said, I'm coming home and I'm not doing anything about Shabbat. I haven't found my community, so I'm not really celebrating Shabbat. I'm not inviting people. What can I do? So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to have my time. Thursday night is usually like date night, right? You go out or something, but that is the time when I really wind out. I can sleep a little bit less, but it's fine because it's Friday and the next day. So it's, like a little bit more chill. And I started preparing my dough. I let it rise overnight. And then when I come, I prepare it. And I found that works for me in this environment. In another environment, never, because Thursday nights, I was never in the same city. I prepare the dough, I put some music. Sometimes I put some music like that reminds me of home or reminds me of my times in school. And I know that even though my mom is not doing that because she's sleeping and where she lives, but it's a time when I connect. I love organizing, even in my house or outside. That's what I do. I think I got that from my mom. She used to open the doors and say, hey, you have 50, 60 people for dinner for Rosh Hashanah. She never counted how many could fit in her house. And she loved to cook for everybody. I love when my friends start understanding what we do, and then they, for example, I have some friends that my bakers in Singapore. There's one that always sends me the pictures, say, hey, I love your recipe, and I'm doing it all the times for my family during the weekend. So it's funny that she sent me a picture and the challah was there with 2 candles, and she's Indian, and now it's part of her tradition, doing that, and I just love it.